Namaste, everybody. I have another topic for my Q&A series. This question is, what is the law of attraction? And if it truly exists, then how come we still experience negative circumstances? So very profound question. Let's get into what is the law of attraction. So the law of attraction comes from the 7 Hermetic Principles. This later was transformed into 12 universal laws, and the Law of Attraction book and movie were based on one of those laws, which is the Law of Attraction. But there was a lot left out of that movie. And one of the 12 principles was actually the law of action. So that's just stating that it's not enough to make a vision board, that you need to actually take steps towards creating that vision. But there are several other laws. Like I said, there's 12 of those, but these are based on the 7 Hermetic Principles. The 7 Hermetic Principles were from a book that was written in the early 1900s. And it basically put together a few of the laws of Newton and Einstein and put all those things together and based it along with ideas that came from ancient religious and spiritual texts so that we would have an understanding of how to act in our life and in society. Another great place to look for information along these lines is in yoga, we have what's called the yamas and the niyamas. These are basic laws similar to the 10 Commandments, but the first 5 laws are laws that you would use in society, and the next 5 laws are laws that you would use within your own development and for yourself. But for now, let's start with these 7 Hermetic Principles. So the first principle or first law is the law of mentalism. So in the 12 universal laws, this relates to the law of oneness. That law of oneness just states that everything in the universe is connected. This is the idea that sparked the matrix, if you will. Everything, whether alive or inanimate, physical or non-material, anything that has any amount of energy to it is all connected. There's a web connecting us all. One of the examples that I've given recently is about this microcosm and macrocosm. And if we took a microscope that was strong enough to zoom into our very hand, we would see that the atoms look like they are miles apart, yet here we are, appearing fully manifest on camera. So this all energy is completely connected. There is oneness, a oneness in this universe that we can't quite grasp our minds around, but it is true. The second one is called the Law of Correspondence. This is the idea of, again, that micro and macro being the same. Going back into that idea of oneness, that everything is the same inside of this physical body as it is outside of this physical body, that I'm made from stardust, right? That it's all connected, and it all is connected in a way that corresponds with one another. So in correspondence, I also get some information doing guide work that my guides have said to me and told me to tell other people is that you're working on the surface, but you have no idea how you're affecting what's underneath or in that matrix behind the scenes, so to speak, that everything is truly connected. And this connects to this law of attraction idea because there's only certain reasons why if you're really working hard to manifesting or attracting something in your life that you're not seeing it. One we're going to get into in a moment, but the other one is exactly what I'm speaking of, that there might be things happening somewhere else in another realm or dimension, so to speak, that you're not quite understanding. And it doesn't mean that it's not going to come. It could very well be coming, but it's going to take its time. And that goes to one of the other 12 laws, which is relativity. and time is relative. There is a earthly time, but there's also a mental or spirit time. It's kind of like the movie Contact with Jodie Foster. She goes in the spaceship and she was only gone for 18 minutes, but she had like a week's worth of experience where she was gone, or hours or whatever, but you get the idea. The third law is the law of vibration. So this means that everything is moving. In yoga, we sit in stillness and we try to close our eyes and just come to a complete still mind, body, and spirit. But in reality, the mind is always chattering and the blood is always flowing, the heart is always pumping, and the breath is always moving. Just like us, if we take into account the other laws, everything that's happening within us is happening on the outside of us. So therefore, there cannot be any stillness. This correlates to the idea that our thoughts are always generating and manifesting for us, whether we're realizing it or not. This is why it's so important to become the observer, to watch your thoughts and to make sure that you're thinking positively. Now that's going to go into an idea called polarization, right? That's the fourth law. If we're thinking the polar opposite, now we might want to manifest this thing over here, but somewhere we don't believe that we deserve it or we don't believe it's possible. That's a polarizing thought. What happens is it brings it into a neutral place. Neutrality does not manifest. It does not create. Neutral just simply exists. Nothing wrong with it, but if you're talking about attracting what you want and manifesting something into creation, then even in the Bible, Jesus said that he would rather people be either hot or cold for something than be neutral about it. So you have to get that desire. And then when you get that desire, you need to make sure that whatever your thoughts are, that you're not having an equal amount of polarizing thought to it, or that could be stifling whatever it is from coming into your life. The next law is rhythm. Rhythm is best explained by pendulum. You know, you've seen these little ball pendulums and you take one up and it goes side to side, or if you take one and you just swing it this way and let it go, it's going to go all the way to the opposite direction. This serves as a reminder of the powerful force behind energy, but also a reminder that even when things are way on the negative side, it's going to swing back. So that again goes back to that idea of what's happening underneath the surface, that it might not appear that anything's happening right now, but rest assured, if you're putting that effort and you're taking that action and you're keeping your thoughts positive, then there is something shifting and you will see it manifest. It's given. It is a universal law. It is going to happen. That relates to the next law. Law number 6, cause and effect. Anything that you do is going to bring an equal reaction, right? This is Newton's law. This is the law of karma. This is the idea of whatever you sow, you're going to reap, right? So we want to make sure that every thought, every word, every action is in alignment with what it is that we want to create and manifest into our life. And to remember that the dominant thoughts here are going to take control. So we want to be sure that we're watching our thoughts and carefully articulating our words and our actions to match those positive affirmations, positive mindsets, positive actions. Everything needs to be in aligned here. And the last one is the law of gender. And the law of gender just simply states that there is a definite masculine and feminine aspect into this world of creation. And we need to see sometimes if we are residing more with the feminine when we need to be residing more with the male or the masculine by taking action, or if we're residing more with the masculine when we need to be residing more with the feminine of accepting. So really seeing that we are both man and woman. We are yin, we are yang, we are power, we are soft, right? We are creative and we are mathematical. We are everything. That goes back to the first law. So getting yourself into that first law, keeping yourself in accordance with that law, and just knowing that everything is your divine birthright. And when things get tough, it's not going to last. Sometimes we don't know why it's happening, but rest assured it's all happening for a reason. And if you keep on that positive train moving forward, you're going to manifest what you want in your life, and you deserve it. So, namaste. Thank you.